YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy T, back at it again with another episode of Talking with T. Let's get into it. Let's get after it, man. It's the draft lottery. The Detroit Pistons got a shot at the number 1 pick. It's super important we get a top 5 pick, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, Pistons fans, it's extremely important we get a top 5 pick this year. It's extremely important we get a top 3 pick. It's extremely important we get the number 1 pick, because this is going to decide how fast this rebuild is going to go. Is it going to go like this, or is it going to go like that, man? They're saying, and we all know recent history has not done us well in the draft lottery. It's benefited the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have like the 6th best odds of getting the number 1 pick. And I saw a mock draft that gave them the number 1 pick. Why? They've folded the bag every single time they've had the number 1 pick, man. They took Anthony Bennett one year. Is he even still in the league? No, man. Give it to the Pistons, man. It's so important we get a top 5 pick this year, because this top 5 is getting compared to the 03 draft class, and we all know what happened in the 03 draft class. The last time the Pistons picked higher than number 7, we picked, you guys know who. It's a disgrace to even bring his name up in Detroit when we could have had Carmelo, and we probably would have won a lot more rings if we drafted Carmelo instead of, you know who. I don't even want to bring up his name. But these top 5 players in the top 5 is just crazy, man. Cade Cunningham, these guys are all projected to be superstars, honestly. But it's all up to them. They got to play hard. We all know that. But we got Cade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, and Jonathan Kuminga. These guys are all could go get a bucket offensively, and they all can play defense pretty well. My top 5 is Jalen Green. The reason I have him ranked before everybody else is because he's just flat out scorer. He can flat out go get a bucket, and he's kind of selfish. I want a player that's selfish, can go get into a streaky shooter. We need that, a straight out sniper from the outside. We have not had that in a long time. At least my recent history of watching the Detroit Pistons, we have not had a solid 3-point shooter from the outside that can just go get a bucket. We need a scorer. We passed on Donovan Mitchell. We passed on Devin Booker. And look what they're doing in the league. Look what scorers are doing when they're coming out of college. They're turning into stars. Trae Young fell at number 8. I think in 2018, right now, I would have drafted Trae Young number 1. I've been saying that when he came out. I don't care about size right now. If you could score, you could score with the best of them. And look what scoring does. It wins you games. Trae Young brought his team, and he's just a playmaker. He brought his team all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals right now. And who would have thought 3 years later that he would have brought them to the Eastern Conference Finals? That's why I want Jalen Green number 1. Same with Cade Cunningham. He's just a shot creator. He's a playmaker. He can play make for others. He can play make for himself. He plays defense. He can knock down the 3. He can score from the inside. He can score from the mid-range. We need a player like that here too. Just a flat-out scorer, flat-out go get a bucket when we need it. That's what the Pistons have been lacking for years on end. And if we drafted Jalen Suggs, I would not be mad either, because that guy is a straight leader. He's a straight winner. He knows how to win. He came from Gonzaga, and we all know about Gonzaga and NCAA basketball, man. They're just a dominant program right now, and he was the best player on their team. And the way he hit that half-court shot to send them to the Final Four last year, or tie the game, I don't remember what it was, that was sick. And I would love to have Jalen Suggs on our team. Evan Mobley, in my honest opinion, I do not want a center right now. Centers, I think the league is going away from centers. I think the league is starting to go small, and we're starting to see that a lot more in the playoffs, man. You have to take centers out of the league. Granted, Evan Mobley can shoot from the 3. He could play. He could protect the rim, but they say one of his weaknesses is defensive rebounding. I don't want someone that can't rebound in the inside, because if you're playing a big, I want a dominant rebounder and somebody that can play good defense. He plays good defense, but he's not a dominant rebounder. I think that would be not a waste of a pick, but you just don't need a center right now, the way the league's going. And this Jonathan Kuminga, this is the prospect I do not know much about, but I'm hearing that he plays awesome defense. He's got really long arms, and he has the potential to be a star player on the offensive end as well. So any of these players that if we land in the top 5 or if we land in the top 3 would be okay to draft. And they're comparing this to the 03 draft class, and these players are going to be studs. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll see how fast this rebuild is going to go. We need that number 1 pick. It's your boy T signing out. Let's go Pistons.